The Italians call it birra artigianali, artisan beer. It comes in hundreds of varieties. Knoll is a dark brew flavored with cocoa beans. Amber-colored elixir is fruity and refreshing. Teo Musso has been selling his home-brewed beer for 15 years. His most popular is Super Baladin with 8% alcohol content, so it's not for lightweights.
Yes, it's strong, that's true, but in a subtle way, like an aquarelle.
Teo Musso enjoys serving his 20 varieties of beer to his guests. His beers appeal to discerning tastes.
It's for wine drinkers who want to give beer a try, and for anyone who's interested in trying something new, who wants to taste something different from the usual fizzy, bitter, clear brews.
La canonica interpretazione della bionda gasata amara trasparente.
Teo Musso's brewery is in the village of Piozzo in the Barola wine district of Piemonte. People from across northern Italy come to pay a visit. His pub is packed to the rafters every evening. The guests tap their own beers at the table from a 2-liter dispenser that Teo Musso designed himself.
We're here all the time. The beer's exquisite with a really special flavor.
It's home brewed. If you want something different, this is where you'll find it.
Here in the mountain village of Millesimo in Liguria, the Scarampola microbrewery is hidden away in a former monastery. Maurizio Guidetti uses only local products. The top fermented beer is brewed at between 21 and 24 degrees Celsius. Then it's aged in the bottle for 2 months.
I brew top fermented beer because it lasts longer and because the flavors of the ingredients I use really develop to the full. The aromas of chestnuts, bitter orange, and so forth.
100 kilometers to the north, the Barbaresco wine region is home to the tiny Città Bionda brewery. The owner, Marco Marengo, is a fan of British and Belgian beer and enjoys experimenting with spices such as mint and cinnamon. He roasts barley along with chocolate for one of his 8 varieties, a stout he's dubbed Black Rebel.
The spices are what gives the beer its flavor. They bind with the yeast during fermentation and create an aroma that wouldn't otherwise be possible.
A 300 milliliter glass costs around €4.50, while a bottle sells for €10. 334 microbrewers share the expanding market for artisan beers in Italy, with brews coming from the Lazio region, Tuscany, and even Sicily. Some of the beers also have labels in German. 90% of the beers are sold in bottles.
Beer these days no longer means only the usual light-colored varieties. That's only one way to brew beer, and far from the only one. There are countless different ways for brewers to interpret their art.
Teo Musso is breaking new ground at his restaurant in Piozzo. Casa Balladine is the only gourmet restaurant in Italy that serves beer but no wine. The appetizer is accompanied with its own brew, Gusto. The best-selling variety, Super, is paired with pumpkin soup with prawns and caviar. Teo Musso has taken brewing one step further. In his cellar, the beer ferments in barrels once used by renowned winemakers and takes on the hint of the wine's aroma. He brews his beers with just water, yeast, hops, and malt. They would even meet the German purity standards, he says.
I don't use spices, just traditional ingredients. It's just traditional techniques like oxidation and aging that lend my beer the aroma of the wine.
avere i sentori di un vino.
The final product smacks of sherry. Teo Musso plans to sell the first bottles of his elegant new creation next year.